G'day mate and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included with me, JD. In our last episode, we finally got a massage room up and running, even though it still needs a good sweep up. And at the same time, we also got a recreational room built up. It's a little bit of extra morale bonus when the duplicates actually decide to use them at the moment, because we have this long commutes error, because just the way I'm running the game. They're not really getting down here to use these two items yet. At the same time, we have a little bit of a heat problem down here. Basically, we've reached a heat saturation point for the amount of hydrogen we're pulling through the system and cooling down to then pump back down in here. It's just reached that sort of critical mass point where we're trying to cool the oil, but the oil is just so hot that we're really now at the point of sort of trying to protect our machinery. Now, our pump does have an overheat temperature of 125, so the only thing I really want to do is look for a gap in these pipes and sort of change our pipe structure. I'm going to deconstruct that. We're going to just put that there so the gas has somewhere to flow to. Run all our gas out as fast as possible. We're going to deconstruct all of that and all of that, and we're literally on, can we save our machinery? So we're now just trying to cool our liquid pump. That's the only thing we're trying to cool. We're not too worried about anything else. And we're going to hope that that does the job. At the same time, we're going to utilities, temp shift plates again, put down a couple of those, which will better move the thermal heat between the radiant pipe, the power, the plumbing, the whatever's in this tile. It better thermal transmits the temperature through that tile. Is pretty much the best way to describe it. So we're hoping to keep the hydrogen cool, and at the same time, well, move the heat from the pump into the hydrogen as best as possible. We can actually we really want to make sure we're covering our sensor, so we're probably going to do that. So you can see the sensor's dropped to 41 degrees because the hydrogen in that pipe is at 40 degrees. So that should improve the whole system, which means I can probably get rid of that gas breach. Just because, yeah, at the moment we're trying to cool less. We're not too worried about the oil. The oil is now, this is on a, if it's below 10 kilos, so we're literally just trying to pump out every bit of oil we possibly can. It's not as electrical, it's not as efficient electric-wise. It's going to use a lot more power because now we're pumping out dribs and drabs. But hopefully means that our liquid pump will drop in temperature. As you can see, it's already down to 60 odd degrees, so it's a big improvement. We can try and come back later and change that to above and see if we still maintain an equilibrium. We'll see. Anyway, this episode, what I actually really want to work on is, now that we have plastic, which has been one of the really big things that we have needed to access a lot of this animal control. So funnily enough, you need to have plastic and have made plastic to access a lot of these animal items. So the critter trap and the critter lure, along with the fish trap, are all plastic items. The other thing I want to play with, not now but soon, will be smart storage. So we're really at this point in the tech tree. You know, there is the athposary, I can't pronounce it properly, and the gas pipe germ sensor, the hand sanitizer, and the pharma chamber. This is all medical stuff. I normally recommend pick that stuff up when you pick it up. It really doesn't matter. 9 times out of 10, I don't even use anything in this branch. Occasionally the germ sensors, but yeah, we'll come back to those. Anyway, so what I want to do is I want to make a sort of all-in-one fish farm, morb farm, Puft farm. Okay, so it's like a 3-step process. And I want to make sure that they're all linked. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to level out the terrain. I'm going to give myself some nice walls to start with. And I want it to be a 7-tile wide gap. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, from there to there. Okay. I want to make sure that this whole structure stays 7 tiles wide, and the reason for that, even though we haven't unlocked it yet, is an auto sweeper, which actually turns out to be 9 tiles wide. Okay. So rethink our plan. Glad to check that. We're going to go there. And then we're going to build our tiles up. Okay. The other thing I want to do is I just want to mop up the clean water that we got on top, because I do want polluted water to start with, because that's what our fishies like. So, we're going to get... First off, we're going to start with our fish. And then I'm going to do a couple of different things to our fish farm. So, going back to our food, we have a fish feeder. Okay, fish feeder is quite simple. It feeds the fishies algae, and we just want to feed all of them. They all eat algae. Come on, click, click, click. They all eat algae. I actually want to copy that and put it right here on the side, and copy the settings from there to there. Okay, so first thing is we need a fish feeder. I want to give our duplicates somewhere to access that, so we're going to pop a door in, and this is going to be where our duplicates get in and out of this farm. Can I really want that water in here. Deconstruct that, dig that out. Water flow. Come on, water, flow faster. Triple speed. That's it, that's about full. Okay, second thing we want in our fish farm is we want a fish release. Okay, so in here we want to drop off all the types of fishy there are. We may add exceptions down the line, because there are... I think the tropical one turns polluted water into clean water, which is something we might want to avoid. But for the moment, we'll just have all the fishies. Okay. Build our tiles up. So this is our fish cage number 1. Then we're going to pop down mesh tiles. Okay. The reason for mesh tiles is exactly that. We want our puffs to be able to poop out their slime. Come on. Let me click on the slime. You're being difficult, game. Puffs poop slime. And we want to capture that slime and not let it run away. We do want to actually use that later on to be processed into algae to bring down here and feed to our fishies. Anyway, in here, we want to have another type of critter. We want another door. And food. We want a critter drop-off. This one's really, really easy. We want a morb. Okay, we already have a morb, and we also have a printer, which I need to get to. We have a morb over here, who is running back and forth, doing absolutely nothing, spewing out polluted oxygen. That's all he does. That's his whole mission in life. Good thing is, he doesn't need to eat anything. He doesn't need to do anything. He just lives to spew out polluted oxygen. The other good thing about it is we can get extra morbs from toilets that aren't cleaned. So that's another thing that we're about to do. We're about to eventually set up more toilets that are never going to be cleaned. So in here, we're going to have a room, all right, which will drop off our morbs. Okay. Next room. And again, we're just going to build this up, trap him in. Room overlay is 121 tiles. We want a stable, which is 96 tiles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 wide. Damn, everything's one tile too wide. Try again, JD. There and there. Okay. So, where were we? Room overlay. 109 tiles. So if I knock 2 rows off that, it should definitely be about the right height. 81. I can actually go up 1 tile. So, in here, we're going to have a stable, which is going to be the home of the Pufts. We're going to deconstruct those two. We're going to put in a door. And actually, we're going to take off another set of tiles. Move that up higher. How big's the room now? 99 tiles. We can have a max of 96. So if I put in that and that, 96 tiles. I do want a double door for this particular one because Puffs have a habit of flying out the door. They're not terribly good at staying where they're meant to be. Okay. Unfortunately, I also don't want to. No, we're going to have to. Gonna have to do it. It's that person with that car again. I don't know whether you guys can hear it. I know sometimes I've listened back to edit stuff and it's come out clear as day. Other times I've been lucky and you can't hear it. Anyway, tile there, tile there, tile there. Okay. Wrong spot for a tile. Try again, JD. Down one lower. Okay. So we've still got our room at 94 tiles, 95 tiles, 96 tiles. We get there in the end. We want to go back to food. We want to have an incubator because we do want to incubate our puffed eggs. In fact, we want a couple of incubators. We also are going to want a critter drop-off. And we're going to want a station. We're going to want a grooming station to make it into an actual stable. So in here, we want to put in Puft and Puft prints. Are they set up? I think they're set up. We're going to need a bit of power. Probably best if we put in the high voltage wire right from the get-go. We're just going to plug that in there for the moment. Yeah, that's still got available power. We are sort of maxing it out, but that's fine. And this one, we want critters. We want a Puft prince, a Pufflet prince, and a puff. Okay, the other thing that we can do, and I'm just trying to see, do we have any other Puffs wandering around the base? There's only this guy over here. So, we'll go over catching them real quick. First off, we'll go over pathfinding. Can you path to there? No, you can't. So, we're going to tile this straight across. And confirm you can now path there. Yes, they can path into here. They're all happy. We can access another stable. I do want them to stay in exosuits because this is going to be very, very full of polluted oxygen. Puffs eat polluted oxygen and expel slime. There we go, a bit more slime's just popped out. And ideally, I actually want to get a pump up here to get rid of any oxygen that's in the room and just fill it completely with polluted oxygen, but one step at a time. So, step number 1 is let's capture some more critters. So we have our Morb over here, and we're just going to put down a critter trap and wait for him to wander past. Boom, he's trapped. Hopefully a duplicate will come across, pick him up, and shove him in his Morb room. We should really do this. Tinkering 5, ranching +5, narcoleptic, comment, twinkle toes. Okay, so we're going to go with ranch +5, narco. I'm going to print you off. Go to jobs real quick. Set you to be in there. And go back in the jobs tab. Do we have 20 morale? Current morale 15. No. Okay, so strength +3 is going to have to come over here and be a groundskeeper. You've already mastered that. Can you be a plumber? You've already mastered that too. What else do you want to be? Absolutely nothing. You can be a apprentice miner. You've done that one too. You can be a miner then. Our architect's done. Our architect can go up. Is that our only mastery? Yep. Okay. So, we can capture a Morb over here. He's about to be picked up. So, come on, autosave. Follow camp. We're carrying one Morb at 25 kilos. And ranging +5 is going to run them all the way across the map. Yep, there's a bit of a pathfinding issue. Put on their exosuits, they don't have to deal with the germs. Take them in here and drop him off. Okay. One very, very happy Morb, which will create more polluted oxygen for us, which is awesome. And that polluted oxygen can go up here and feed our little Puft. We want some airflow tiles. That's actually not going to help us right at the moment. Okay, so we now have puffs, we have polluted oxygen, we have fish down here. We did have fish down here. Hey you, fish in there. Well, actually, let's put you back. So now I can show you off. Food. Fish trap. Did you just die? No, you just had a heart attack. Okay. Food. Fish trap, as you can see, again, plastic 200 kilograms. So these traps are not cheap. Not in the slightest. But if we put down a couple of fish traps, ideally, the fish should make their way towards the traps. It's not ideal, it's not 100%, but they do get there eventually. And they will get trapped in the traps and then get released over here. There is no food in there currently, and I'm willing to bet there's probably food on the ground somewhere to keep them busy. So, now we have some basics. We can come up here. We can dig that out, because I want to get to this Puft. I really, really want to get to this Puft. So, over here, we have a Puft. If I put a door in there, just a door, nothing more complicated than a door, take one of these, duplicate it, and put it over here, and set it to auto wrangle 0. And high priority. In theory, storing 2 critters. Where's the second one? There must be an egg down here. Oh, there we go. We've got a Pacu down there. In theory, somebody is going to go eat and shower and toilet. You're useless. Fish trap has failed. Is it because the fish trap... Maybe the fish trap's not in the water. It's been a long time since I've used fish traps. That's better. Trapped instantly. Third time lucky. Food. Fish trap. You saw when I put the first one down, he swam straight across. There we go. There we go. So because I auto-wrangled and I'd set up a room, our puff prints got tied up straight away. And hopefully both of them will get pulled over to here. Or he'll get pulled over to here. Down here I need another fish trap. Do I have any fish in this room? No, I don't. So we'd have to take a ladder down there. I've never tried to wrangle a fish. And see if he can be tied up and transported rather than using a fish trap. That's a really good question, JD. We should try that out. Okay, so we're going to pick up this fish. We're going to take him over here. We're going to drop him off. What are you doing? Harvest dust cap. No, harvest that instead. Picked up polluted dirt. Picked up polluted dirt. You've got 4 kilos of polluted dirt. It's a real hard way of doing things. Okay, let's up priority on that as well because I want my fishies fed. But after we have a couple of puffs, right, that's really our starting point. We need a couple of puffs and then we can start producing more and more puffs through the hatchery method. You now have algae. Our pacus down here, they don't eat a lot. They eat algae, put out polluted dirt. Actually, a fair quantity of polluted dirt. And every single day, they'll... every single cycle. So, their life cycle is fairly short. But they will very, very, very quickly hatch new eggs. So the idea is really to get as many fish down here as possible. Their wilderness doesn't matter. The idea is just to get them down here, get enough or get enough in here, right? And every single time they go through their 25 cycle life cycle, you should get a new fish out of them, even if they're not fed. That's one of the things with pacus, unless Clay has changed the rules again. And you are definitely not being wrangled. So that doesn't work. Probably because you're a different type of drop-off. But I can come down here and go food, fish trap, right there. And you'll get trapped and a dupe will come pick you up shortly. So I'm going to leave the episode here. As you can see, our puffs are doing a wonderful job of eating this polluted oxygen, which has actually reduced the levels down already. Next episode, we're going to have to automate this in some way that we can make sure that we always have enough polluted oxygen to keep our puffs happy. Ideally, we want this area full of polluted oxygen, and we don't really want the chlorine and carbon dioxide and all the other crap we've got down here. Along with, we really want to try and get as many more fish as we can down into this thing. So it means coming out and exploring these extra biomes, catching fish and getting them down here into this polluted water to perpetuate the system. Because our puffs give our slime we can turn to algae we can feed to fish crack eggs give us lime to make steel, puffs make eggs make steel. Puffs and fish, unfortunately, we can't eat. Or actually, no, you can eat fish. You can eat fish. You just can't detect how old they are automatically. But anyway, we're going to leave all that for the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you're enjoying this little series. And I will catch you guys in the next episode. All right, bye.